Hello everybody. So we start our next topic, that is atomic and molecular structure. Now this belongs to unit 1A of engineering chemistry. Now the contents of this unit is first of all the Vesper theory or VSEPR theory and its application for determining the structures of ammonia, the ammonium ion, the water molecule, the hydronium ion, the sulfur dioxide and the xenon fluoride. The second topic of this unit is the molecular orbital theory. We'll be explaining the postulates of this theory. The third topic under this unit is the application of the postulates of the molecular orbital theory to the formation of homo and heteronuclear diatomic molecules. The fourth topic of this unit is the hydrogen bonding and its application, and the final and the last topic is the metallic bonding, in which we will be discussing about the band theory. Now this unit is having some course outcome. So what is the outcome? That means what will you learn, or what you will gain after learning this unit. So what the knowledge that you will gain is to acquire the knowledge of various properties of materials depending upon the bond formation. Now let us come to the new topic. This is entirely a new topic, that is VSEPR theory. So what does this theory tell us? The VSEPR, that is the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, which is abbreviated as VSEPR theory, is used to predict the shape of covalent molecules based on the number of bonded electron pairs and the non-bonded electron pairs that surround the central atom of the molecule. Now what does this state? So we know that the Vesper theory will only help us to predict the shape of covalent molecules. Now in any covalent molecule, there will be a central atom and there will be also surrounding atoms to which the central atom is bonded. So that means the electrons in the central atom will be directly involved in bonding with the surrounding atom. So that means the electrons that are directly involved in bonding, they are called as the bonded electron pairs. Now, the central atom may also have certain electrons that are not involved in bonding. So that means they are existing in that molecule, but they are not involved in bonding. So such electrons are designated as the non-bonded electrons, or they are told as the lone pairs. So that means depending upon the number of bonded electron pairs and the number of non-bonded electron pairs, we can to some extent predict the shape of covalent molecules. Now, this is a very important theory. This theory was first presented by Gillespie and Nyholm. The theory is based on the assumption that first of all, as I said, that the central atom in a covalent molecule will be having some number of bonded electron pairs, and they may also have some number of non-bonded electron pairs. Now, since the bonded electron pairs and the non-bonded electron pairs are involving electrons, and we very well know that the electrons are negatively charged molecules. Negatively charged, and this there will be repulsion between the bonded pairs, and there will also be repulsion between the non-bonded electron pairs. Also, there will be repulsion between the bonded and the non-bonded electron pairs. So this is the first assumption. The first assumption is saying that there may be repulsion, or there will be repulsion between the bonded electron pairs, between the non-bonded electron pairs, and between the bonded and the non-bonded electron pairs. Now the second assumption is that depending upon the repulsions, the atoms, that means the central atom and the surrounding atoms, will align themselves in such a way that there is minimum repulsion between the bonded and the non-bonded electron pairs. Now the final arrangement of the atom will determine the geometry of the resulting molecule. Now let us explain this Vesper theory by taking the example of a simple covalent molecule, that is methane. Now, in the case of methane, you can see that this is a diagrammatic representation of methane. Here, this is the central atom is representing the carbon, and the surrounding atoms which are represented, which are shown in blue, they are the hydrogen atoms. So that means during the formation of methane, what is happening? The central atom, that is carbon, is forming covalent bonds with the 4 hydrogen atoms. So that means there are 4 bond pairs. So that means 1 electron of carbon is involved with bonding with 1 electron of hydrogen. So that means 1 bond pair is having 2 electrons. So there are 4 bond pairs. So that means the total electrons involved in bonding is 8. So since the bond pairs are involving electrons and the electrons are negatively charged, so there will obviously be repulsion between one bond pair and the other bond pair. So that means there will be repulsion between this bond pair and this bond pair. So there will be repulsion between this and this. So there will be repulsion between this bond pair and this, and finally there will be repulsion between this and this. So that means there are 4 bond pairs, and these 4 bond pairs are undergoing repulsion with each other, and they will align in such a way that the final geometry will have minimum repulsion between the bond pairs. So this the methane molecule is thus assuming a tetrahedral shape. So that means this tetrahedral shape is because the molecule is assuming maximum stability. So let us see what are the total electrons that are involved in bonding. So that means there are 8 electrons that are involved in bonding, and so the valence shell electrons, that is VSE, of this methane molecule is 8. And how this 8 has come? It is because of the 4 valence electrons of carbon and 4 electrons of hydrogen. So that means total 8 electrons are there for the methane molecule and that are involved in bonding. Now what is the valence shell electron pair? Just divide the valence shell electron divided by 2. So we'll get a figure of 4. So among the 4 VSEPs, that means the valence shell electron pairs are 4, and how many of the valence shell electron pair are involved in bonding? So there are 4 bond pairs. So that means all the VSEPs are involved in bonding. So that means there will be minimum repulsion between them, and the molecule thus assumes a tetrahedral shape. So this tetrahedral shape of methane is because of that the molecule is having maximum stability. That means the 4 bond pairs, there are minimum repulsion in this alignment. Now let us come to the first postulate of the VSEPR theory. Please remember that we have to remember or understand the postulates of the VSEPR theory, because based on the postulates we will be applying the postulates to predict the shape of various covalent molecules. So what does postulate 1 say or state? If the central atom in a molecule is surrounded by only bonded electron pairs. So what do you mean by bonded electron pairs? It means that the electrons of the central atom that are directly involved in bonding with the surrounding atom. Now, if such central atom is there is no lone pair. So what do you mean by lone pairs? That means the central atom may also have some electrons that are not involved in bonding. So in this postulate, we are not talking about the lone pairs. We will be taking the example of such covalent molecules in which the central atom is only having bonded electron pairs. So that means under such conditions, the molecule will assume a regular shape or a regular geometry. So let us understand this postulate by taking the example of simple covalent molecules. So now let us see the shape of beryllium chloride. So we consider a beryllium chloride. This is a covalent molecule, and this beryllium is the central atom. Let us see this diagram. This is a picture given of beryllium chloride. Now this beryllium atom is the central atom in this molecule. Now the chlorine, there are 2 chlorine atoms to which the beryllium is joined by covalent bonds. So this is there are 2 covalent bonds. The beryllium is the central atom and the 2 chlorine atoms are the surrounding atoms. Now beryllium, it has got 2 valence electrons, and each electron of beryllium is directly bonded to 1 electron of chlorine atom. So that means since there are 2 beryllium electrons, the 2 electrons of chlorine, they are also involved in bonding. So that means the total valence shell electrons involved in beryllium chloride is the 2 electrons of beryllium and the 2 electrons of chlorine, which is giving a figure of 4. So what is the valence shell electron pair? VSEP, that is 4 divided by 2, that is coming to 2. Now out of the 2 valence shell electron pairs, how many are involved in bonding? So that is, the bond pair is 2. So that means that there are 2 bond pairs in beryllium chloride. So geometry of such molecule will be linear and the bond angle is 180 degrees. So that means if a molecule is having it is having a total of 2 VSEPs, that means the valence shell electron pairs involved in a molecule is 2 and all the 2 VSEPs are involved in bonding. So that means if the bond pair is 2, that means the 2 bond pairs will be undergoing repulsion between the 2 bond pairs and they will align themselves in such a way that there is now minimum repulsion between the bond pairs. So that means by assuming a linear shape, the 2 bond pairs are now having minimum repulsion, and this beryllium chloride in this linear shape, the beryllium chloride is assuming maximum stability. The bond angle in this case, the bond angle, what is the bond angle? It is the angle between the 2 bond pairs, that is 180 degrees. So other examples under this category is zinc chloride and the mercury chloride. So that means both zinc chloride and mercury chloride will be now following a linear geometry and the bond angle in such molecules will be 180 degrees. So I hope you have understood the concept of the Vespert theory. This is a very important theory, and as I said that the Vespert theory, it helps us to predict the shape or the geometry of covalent molecules. So before we predict the shape or the geometry of covalent molecules, we must be knowing how many electrons are involved in the valence shell of that particular molecule. That means how many electrons are there in that. The central atom is having how many valence electrons and how many electrons are there for the surrounding atoms. So that is the valence shell electrons. So after knowing the valence shell electrons, we must be knowing how to calculate the valence shell electron pair. Just divide by the valence shell electrons by 2. So that will give the figure of the valence shell electron pair. Now we must be knowing how many bond pairs are there. That means how many bonds are there directly involved in bonding. So based on these figures, we can predict the shape of the covalent molecule. And the postulate 1 is saying that if a covalent molecule is the central atom in the covalent molecule is only having bond pairs, that means there is no lone pairs, the molecule will assume a regular structure. So the first example that we understood in this postulate 1 is beryllium chloride. So next slides we will be explaining the molecules of various molecules by using the application of the postulate 1. So thank you. I'm not ending the topic. We will be